Chris, you guys are down 13. I think they're in the third, and Rudy's out, and Jaden's in foul trouble. Just what did you see from that group that was able to band together and get you back in it?
I thought all game we were in the game. We got down, we got up, we got down, we came back. I think that fight back in the second obviously gave us confidence that we could fight back. I loved our defense, man. We were really on point defensively, rebounding well. It was all about finding a rhythm offensively. Like once we were able to do that, I felt we had a good chance to make a real push in the game, and we just kept making the right play eventually and just getting off of it, and instead of trying to take on the teeth of the defense, we started moving and cutting, and things broke loose.
Seemed like start of the fourth, Ant needs a rest to get what you got from Luka and Jalen. I mean, was that kind of the difference there, just kind of getting that bridge to? I mean,
Luka's minutes were huge. I thought Nas really came alive in that second half. I thought he played well all game, but really stepped up in Rudy's absence to start. Gave us some emotional plays as well with the big dunks. And Luka came in. Jalen was good, really good. Hit some tough buckets and got some stuff out of the flow. And he and Ant were able to share the ability to handle there, particularly and then even Jaden, who had sat for foul trouble, had stayed locked in, got a couple big blocks, and hit a corner three. It was huge. So
they're so good defensively, especially in the front. But it seemed like your guys went right at them all night, Mobley and Allen. I mean, just the aggressiveness to force the issue there.
I think so. They got us a few times. We got them a few times. We like to go at the rim. We got some guys who are really good at it. But for a little bit there, I think that it was frustrating to us because we weren't going at it after ball movement. We were going at it initially. So once we moved them around, it was better.
Chris, a lot of times this season you've talked about physicality not being there after games and some of that connectivity. I mean, was this the complete opposite side of that as much as you've seen this year?
Absolutely. I think this is one of our more mature wins for sure. Got down, fought back, executed the game plan to a high level, put our bodies on people. Low man was really good tonight, and it didn't matter who it was. I thought they were there all night long. Shot contests were on point.
Could you sense that coming? I mean, I feel like we've seen some more of that, at least in spurts over the last few weeks here.
It's we've said from the beginning, one of the keys for us is our abilities to play different defenses, and it took us a long time to find a foundation of our defense, and now we feel more comfortable toggling back and forth. At one point tonight, to me, it was like a whirlwind. I felt, we had too much crap going on out there because, the way we started the game I thought was great, and then every sub, everything seemed to change. But tonight we settled into a rhythm defensively, which was key for us,
And then it looked like you had D'Angelo coming to check in at about the 5-minute mark, and then Jalen. Yeah, it was for Jalen. Jalen makes a bucket.
Yeah, and D'Lo looked at me, and I looked at him. I was like, hey, let's roll with it. It was big play. D'Lo was fine. So
Was the plan on Mitchell, Jaden obviously at first, but then having Kyle be after Jalen, just such a different change of pace?
Yeah, I thought Torian did a good job on him too. Just a little bit of length on him. He has such a powerful jumper. He gets up and can shoot over top of smaller guards. And but Austin did a good job getting into his space. We just didn't want to be beat by the guards. That was the game plan. We wanted to make sure that we did a good job, I think, of forcing the ball out of their hands most of the night.
And you've had a variety of spectacular 5 or 8 minute bursts from a bunch of your centers. Do you have any idea when and how that's going to come about?
Well, I thought it was a pop game. And Luka was going to fit that mold a little bit more than a roll game, which maybe Nate Knight would do, but they've all been, great, accepting of their role, going in, helping us win. Sometimes we don't know exactly, if we could play 5 centers, we'd be pretty good. But they've all helped us all year long, which is pretty incredible to have that much depth at the 5 position.
And Garza doesn't seem like a classic high wall guy by any stretch. I mean, you know, you look at him and go, he's primarily a drop guy, but it does seem like he can do both if he needs to, right?
Well, I think he moves his feet really well. He takes good angles. You know, probably in college, they probably showed with him. I don't know, you know. So he does a good job, and, yeah, he competes on the ball.
Chris, do you have any update or understanding of Rudy's injury at this point?
Yeah, I understand he's just got some groin soreness, you know. But I haven't had a chance to talk to Rudy or really the medical staff about it. I don't know if it's a hit or a twist or anything like that. So.
Understanding that it's a new year and a new group, but last year you're at 500 after 50 games. You're back at 500 now. And then last year you guys really were able to take off after you got to 500. Do you draw anything from that from last year at all? Or do the players remember anything from that at all to kind of see a similar script this time around?
You know, I think what the players can draw from it, or what I draw from it, is it's a real long season. And, you know, a real long season, and there's lots of times to make a run, you know. And, you know, the teams are so different, but you know, the coming together takes a while, you know, it just does. It takes 25 games offensively for me. I feel really good with our offense most nights right now, so. But we just got to keep, you know, grinding them out, fighting. You know, we have the ability to beat anybody and lose to anybody, and that's pretty scary as a coach, so.
Chris, did you notice, I mean, the crowd responding to the effort and energy that you guys put forth?
I mean, the crowd was amazing. The crowd's been really, really good. I mean, they got on us early and deservedly so. But we've been playing with a bit more swagger at home. You know, I think, and the guys are putting the effort in, and the crowd's responding, and it's, you know, feels like it did a year ago down here, so.